Look at that. And I think you would probably be able to get out as well.
That's stunning.
I have heard it said, but Saab made the pillars so strong that when they went rallying, they didn't actually have to fit a roll cage.
Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, they had to fit one because of regulations, but it wasn't
Necessary.
actually necessary.
You know, I was talking the other day to a friend of mine who's a senior designer with another Swedish car company, and he said nobody could ever work out why Saab cost so much until they crashed it.
Saab were always pathological about safety. Before putting a car on sale, they'd make sure it could survive just about anything. Even a head-on collision with a moose. This attention to detail caused a few problems when they were conceiving the 9000, because, to save costs, it was designed in tandem with the Lancia Thema.
The idea was that behind the two different badges and underneath the two different bodies, the cars would actually be the same. And it seemed like they were, up until the point that they were crash tested. Lancia's engineers described the results as perfect. Saab's engineers described them as, and I'm quoting directly here, not good at all. And from that moment on, the joint venture completely fell apart. The Saab ended up with much bigger wheels than the Lancia. It was also made out of thicker steel, and it had a completely different rear axle. Now, sticking to principles like that is expensive, and Saab was losing money hand over fist on every car it made.
Even advertising it as a jet fighter for the road didn't help.
Saab 9000.
So, in 1989, Saab was bailed out by General Motors.
To try and larch some fiscal sense into them, a team of executives from GM went over to Sweden and said, look, this is a Cavalier from our Vauxhall division. And to make your new car, what you do is change the body and the badges. That's it. Nice and cheap. Body and badges. Saab ignored them so completely that their new 900 shared only a third of its components with the Cavalier. When the time came to replace the 900 with the 93, the General Motors executives went over to Sweden again and said, OK, here is the Vauxhall Vectra. Now, this time, we mean it. Only change the body and the badges. Nothing else. Guess what? The Swedes went even more mental. They changed so much that even the wheel